You know, every single day, your body is performing this incredible high-wire act with life-or-death stakes, and you probably don't even notice. We're talking about the constant, super precise management of sugar in your blood. So let's pull back the curtain on this amazing biological balancing act and meet the unsung hero right at the center of it all, your liver. Now, that might sound a little dramatic, but it is the absolute truth. The amount of glucose, that's sugar, in your blood has to be kept in an unbelievably narrow, perfect range. So what happens if your body messes that up?
Right, so think of it like walking a tightrope. If you lean too far to one side or too far to the other, well, the consequences can be pretty severe. Maintaining that perfect balance, it's absolutely crucial for your body to just function.
So you've got two dangerous extremes here. If your blood sugar spikes too high, that's a state called hyperglycemia. It basically acts like a slow poison, damaging all those tiny, delicate blood vessels over time. But if it crashes too low, we call that hypoglycemia. Your organs literally get starved of energy. And the most vulnerable one, your brain, it runs almost entirely on glucose. Without a steady supply, it just starts to shut down.
This quote from the source material really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? If you're in a state of low blood sugar, the liver's super-fast response is the only thing standing between you and a critical, life-threatening situation. I mean, we're talking about a matter of minutes. So how does this whole system actually work?
Well, for starters, the liver isn't acting alone. It's kind of like the MVP of a highly coordinated team, a whole network of organs and signals all working in perfect sync. So, let's meet the key players, shall we? Okay, so take a look here. This diagram gives us that 30,000-foot view. See how everything connects to that central pool of blood glucose? You eat something and your glucose levels rise. The pancreas immediately sends out a signal. Then the liver, your muscles, and even fat tissues all respond. It's this dynamic, constant conversation going on between all these different parts, all designed to keep that central pool perfectly balanced.
The crucial point here is that each player has a very specific job. The pancreas, that's mission control. It's sending out all the hormonal signals. Your muscles and fat tissue, they're the biggest consumers, burning up glucose for fuel. The brain is the VIP, you know? It gets top priority for that fuel, no matter what. And the liver? Well, the liver is like the central bank, making deposits and withdrawals to keep the entire economy stable. But what makes this bank so unique is that it can also print its own money.
And this is where the liver truly becomes the hero of our story. Its real power lies in this unique dual function that really no other organ can replicate. This is the absolute core concept right here. See, unlike other organs that mostly just use glucose, the liver can both produce it and consume it. It's kind of like being the city's power plant and its biggest factory all at once, and it can flip a switch between those two roles in an instant.
And you can see that switch in action right here. On the left, when your blood sugar is low, the liver starts breaking down its stores and even creating new glucose to release into the blood. But then on the right, let's say after a big meal, it does the exact opposite. It pulls glucose in from the blood and stores it as a substance called glycogen for later. It's a producer and a consumer all in one. Pretty incredible.
And where does all this happen? It's inside these specialized liver cells called hepatocytes. These are the little microscopic powerhouses doing all the work, storing glucose, releasing it, and even building brand new glucose from other sources. It really is like metabolic magic happening at this tiny level. So the big question is, how do these hepatocytes know what to do, right? They don't just guess. They get very precise marching orders from a really sophisticated command and control system.
And those orders come in the form of two key hormones from the pancreas. So when you eat and your blood sugar starts to rise, the pancreas releases insulin. That's the store it signal for the liver. But when your blood sugar drops, say between meals, the pancreas sends out glucagon, which is the release it signal. It's this perfect hormonal push and pull system, all designed to keep that perfect balance.
And the amazing part is, this all happens in this incredibly fast and elegant feedback loop. A change in blood sugar is detected, the pancreas immediately sends the right hormone, the liver gets the message, and boom, it switches its entire metabolic machinery. We're talking within seconds or minutes. It's just a beautifully efficient system.
All right, so we've been deep in the mechanics, right? The who, the what, the how, but let's zoom out for a second and talk about why this whole balancing act is so incredibly fundamental to our overall health.
This idea of a perfect internal balance, well, there's a scientific name for it, homeostasis. And it's not just about blood sugar. Your body is constantly working to maintain this balance for your temperature, your pH levels, and countless other things. This internal stability isn't just a nice-to-have. It's the very definition of being alive and healthy.
And that is why this all matters so much. Because when this precise regulation gets disrupted, when the hormonal signals get ignored or the liver just can't respond the way it's supposed to, it can lead to really serious systemic diseases. The one we all know, of course, is diabetes. So understanding this balance is really the key to understanding both health and disease.
So every single moment of every single day, this elegant system is working tirelessly in the background, guarding that delicate balance for you. It really makes you stop and think, now that you know how it all works, what actually happens when that balance is broken? And what does that tell us about the way we live our lives?